Good morning. What a beautiful morning this morning. I'm out looking for some owls. Thought it would be a good morning to do that. Snow's coming down. I was hoping to catch them. In the snow, get some fun owl pictures. I haven't been able to find any or hear any, so I'll keep looking here. But I thought I would take a minute to do a review of 2020. It was a really good year for photography for me. I didn't make it out a ton, but when I did, I was able to capture some awesome pictures. So I thought I would do a quick review of 2020 and kind of talk about some of my personal favorite pictures and the experiences that revolve around those pictures. For me, a big part of an image is the story behind it, the experience that led up to it, obviously the adventure that comes with it. I love all that stuff, so when I look at my pictures, it's a way for me to remember those experiences and just admire the nature that I see. So when I talk about these images, I'm going to review 9 of my favorite images. When I talk about these images, these may not be the absolute best images in my opinion, but they've got an awesome story behind them, and you know, they are decent images. So when I do review these, I'll talk a little bit about the story as well. First image I wanted to talk about was this picture of a sea otter that I took early this year. I was out in California and thought I would take a day with my kayak out on the ocean to try to get some images of sea otters. The reason this image is so special to me is because I've spent a lot of time looking for otters, both river otters and sea otters. And in that time, I've gotten relatively few images, especially of sea otters. So I went out on the ocean early one morning in my kayak, and I started to see the sea otters come up, and I saw this beautiful female otter just chilling on her back, and she was grooming herself. She was pretty dry, so the color in her fur really popped, this beautiful golden color. And she almost appeared to be smiling, and that's exactly how I felt when I took this image. I was so excited to finally get a decent image of a sea otter, and just a few moments after I took this image, she kind of rolled over, dove down, got all wet, and that beautiful golden color on her fur turned to a darker, more wet color. And so I was able to get the image just in time. Super excited about that. In my opinion, beautiful image, beautiful moment surrounding that. It was just an extremely peaceful day out on my kayak in the water, surrounded by these beautiful creatures, not just sea otters, but seals and all sorts of birds and everything. Just an awesome day. I had so much fun that day. Next image that I wanted to talk about is an image of a ruffed grouse that I took. Ruffed grouse and grouse in general are just some of my favorite animals to photograph. Each spring I look forward to getting out with ruffed grouse, and like I said, any grouse. But this spring specifically, I was able to spend a lot of time with these ruffed grouse. So this grouse in particular, I photographed it now 3 years in a row. I believe, and it comes back to the same log every year, and it drums its wings really quick. And these male grouse do this to attract the females. The females will come in, and the males get to pass on their genetics, hopefully, to these females, and start the new generation. This ruffed grouse in particular, I've watched this one for 3 years now, and never have I seen it puff up its neck feathers. They'll do this as a display as well to the females, and as a show of dominance to other males in the area. I've never seen this grouse do it, or any of these grouse for that matter, puff up their neck feathers like this. So this grouse, it was awesome. I was in position early before it was at its log, and I got to watch it approach the log, hop up on its log, puff up its neck feathers, and drum its wings. Such an awesome experience. It was just great to get out with this grouse, and that was the first time I've seen this grouse do that, and it was just a very exciting moment for me. The image, I just like it overall, the moody feeling with the trees, and just that time of year is just a beautiful, amazing time of year to be out, especially with these awesome birds. As I review these images, you'll notice that quite a few of them come from my Alaska trip that I took this year. Each year I try to make it out to Alaska and look for bears. I'm able to photograph ptarmigan. This year I saw a wolf. I was able to spot my first caribou. An amazing trip, and I try to make it out each year. I'm a big fan of grouse type birds, ptarmigan included. So I spend a lot of time on these Alaska trips looking for these beautiful ptarmigan. And this year did not disappoint. I was able to get quite a few images of these beautiful ptarmigan this year. As I was looking for these ptarmigan, they blended incredibly well with their surroundings. I was hiking along, just my eyes peeled looking for these birds, and all of a sudden they moved out from right underneath my feet almost. They camouflaged so well. But I was able to get down on the tundra, kind of lie down, and these ptarmigan just surrounded me. It was an awesome experience. It was a female with young of that year, or young of this year. They were just eating around different vegetation and berries and whatnot. So I was able to just lie there on the tundra with these birds all around me. And this experience was so cool because they started to move around to my right side, and as I moved my camera around, I noticed, oh, I've got this river below me. I've got this fireweed, these beautiful flowers, pink flowers coming up, just vibrant colors with the river, the clouds, the overcast clouds, and these flowers, just beautiful colors unfolding. And I had my long lens on, so I just saw the image in my head. I needed to get my short landscape lens on. So I was just hurriedly trying to change my lenses out, and just in time I was able to get my short lens on, get some wide angle pictures of these ptarmigan with the fireweed, the moody clouds, and the river below. In my opinion, I mean, everything just came together to create this incredible image, and it's one of my favorite images I've ever taken. Again, because of the experience, it was just amazing to be surrounded by these beautiful birds, but also, not to sound boastful, it's just a freaking awesome image in my opinion. So, beautiful, beautiful image, so happy with it. Beautiful birds out there, landscape, everything just came together to make an incredible image. While we're on the subject of Alaska, I wanted to review another image of bear fishing. When I started going out to Alaska, this was my main goal, was to get these bears fishing. So for years I spent 8-9 days out each year just trying to get these pictures of these bears fishing. I wanted a picture with the bear, fish in its mouth, just incredibly detailed image, and I wasn't able to get that for my first few years going out to Alaska until last year. I was able to get some decent images, and then this year I was able to get some pretty awesome images as well. So this next image, super excited about. This bear was fishing, it caught a fish, And a lot of times the bears will pull the fish out by the tail, and the fish is just kind of dangling there. This bear got it, you know, fish coming out both sides of its mouth, and it came right at me, the bear did. Not in an aggressive way, it just came towards me, and it got incredibly close where without needing my telephoto lens or anything, I was able to see in detail this fish wriggling around in the bear's mouth. So as soon as I put my camera and telephoto lens on it, I was able to zoom right in on the fish. I wasn't even able to get the full bear head in my image, just the mouth and the fish and all these eggs coming out the bear's mouth and the fish. So I just love the detail, the fish wriggling around its tail, splashing up this water, and it's just a very vibrant, detailed image. Just an awesome experience. You know, years of work come together to create this image, basically. A lot of research went into it, just learning about bears, bear behavior, where they're going to be, the best fishing spots and everything just kind of came together to put this image together. So I was incredibly lucky with it, and I'm just incredibly happy with the image overall. As I mentioned, this year, you know, is very crazy for a lot of people. It was crazy for my family and I as well, but I was able to have a lot of cool wildlife experiences. Anytime I'm able to see wild cats, whether it's a bobcat, mountain lion, never seen a lynx yet, still looking for those, but anytime I'm able to see those wild cats in nature, it's just amazing. And this year I was incredibly fortunate to be able to start the year and end the year photographing some bobcats. So this year, I mean, right from the get-go, I was able to find and photograph some bobcats in some awesome terrain. And then ending this year as well, I was able to get some. So I've had some incredible bobcat experiences this year. One of those experiences was with bobcat in some snow. I was able to watch it as it kind of just rested in the snow a little bit, and I was able to get some pretty detailed pictures of it just chilling in the snow. It's not this crazy action shot or anything, it's literally just sitting in the snow resting, but it's a beautiful cat, and it's not often that I get to have an experience like that with a wild species of cat. Generally they're very elusive, very wary. This bobcat really didn't mind that its picture was being taken, and it just kind of chilled there for a while. So again, just an awesome year for bobcats. I've been able to photograph a few this year and have some, you know, pretty fun experiences with them. But yeah, this image in particular, I just like how it turned out, and I was able to spend some time with this animal and just kind of watch it from a fairly close distance as it just kind of napped and chilled there. So it was pretty fun experience. Another one of my favorite Alaska images was an image of this bear cub standing up in the water looking for fish. So I was out one night in Alaska photographing an adult bear fish. I was packing up my stuff, it was getting late, it was about 9 o'clock, and I started heading back to camp. As soon as I started leaving though, this mother bear with 2 cubs came out of the brush and she started fishing. It's the second year in a row I was able to photograph this family, and these younger cubs were just entertaining to watch, and it was fun watching them watch their mother. So as their mother splashed around in the water trying to catch a fish, the cubs would watch and they would mimic some of her behavior. So one of these cubs ran out to the water and just started running around in the water, and it would stand up and look around for fish, and there was water dripping from it, and then it would go back and start running around. And it was just a very cool experience for me to watch how these young animals observe their mother, and they learn from that. That's one of the main ways that these animals learn, and that's something I've always found fascinating with wildlife, is they learn by watching mom or dad. And so it was just a cool experience to see this cub run around in the water watching its mom and then trying to fish. Water just dripping from it. The light was amazing, beautiful light that evening, and it was just a cool image altogether. That golden light, like I say, it makes everything so vibrant. The colors were just unreal in the water and on the cub, so just a pretty cool image. I was very happy with it. The next image that I wanted to talk about was also from this spring. One of my goals this spring was to find a family of woodpeckers and be able to photograph the woodpecker nest. And I was able to do so. It was an awesome experience. I spent a lot of time up looking in this new area where I heard a lot of woodpecker activity. I was able to find a family of northern flickers in an aspen tree, and this location was just amazing. The sun would come up kind of on the side, and I would get this amazing yellow glow on the mountain behind. So, you know, as I was focused kind of on the side angle on this aspen tree, the woodpeckers would pop out. But the mountain behind, it was just this golden, glowing mountain. It was so pretty. So when I was able to photograph this family of woodpeckers, the light was just, the colors were phenomenal. It was so pretty. And I just get these unreal golden colors illuminating the image. As pretty as that was, I think my favorite part of being with this family was just watching the parents come in and out. They were so wary, so I was always hidden, camoed up, and I had some natural vegetation around me and whatnot, so I was pretty well hidden. But the parents were always so wary of any animals in the area. One day I had some deer come through, some little baby deer frolic right around me, and they didn't know I was there, but the woodpeckers were so wary. It was just a cool experience, though, to be in the woods, hear all these woodpeckers around me. I heard some owls, these deer that were just jumping around. Just an awesome experience to be in the woods in spring with all this new life, all these babies around me. It was just such a cool, fun experience. I really enjoyed that, and to see these woodpeckers and the care that they had for their little babies, it was such a cool experience to see that. The next two images are fairly similar. I just couldn't choose between the two. They're both just kind of fun. Going back to Alaska again, these two cubs that I've talked about, I got to spend another day with them out on the tundra as my last night on this trip, and I had spent 5 or 6 hours earlier that day looking for them. Couldn't find them. I was headed back to camp, and I was able to find them with Mom. So I was able to spend the evening with them, a couple hours, and I just watched them play on the tundra. It's so fun to watch baby animals play. Mom's just sitting there patiently, just, you know, you can tell she's just exhausted of caring for these energetic cubs, but just to watch these cubs play and, you know, roughhouse, and it was so fun to watch that. Such an amazing experience. One of these images that I like, you know, it's like Rocky style. One of the cubs is clocking the other one, and the other one's just totally, you know, shocked. It's just a fun image. The colors were pretty vibrant. And then the next image was fun as well. I tried to compose it as well as I could, where I could get Mom right in between the two cubs, both on their hind legs, you know, play fighting, and Mom's in the background between them. You can tell she's just over it. She's just sitting there eating berries, and these cubs are playing around. The light behind was, again, the sun was going down. The light was just golden. It was so pretty. Just such a fun evening, such a fun trip with these cubs. Some of my favorite animals for sure to photograph. Just beautiful, beautiful time with them. Well, that's all the images that I wanted to review. My top 9 just favorite images and experiences that I had this year. I'm going to keep going looking for some owls. The snow's still coming down. If I can catch an owl in the snow, that would be just fantastic. So I'm going to keep going looking for owls. I've got some really fun adventures planned for this next year, and I really hope you follow along. I'm really enjoying making these videos. It's been really motivating for me, so I'm gonna keep going at it. Keep watching for my weekly videos. Please consider liking, leaving a comment, subscribing. I'd really appreciate the support. And if you have any feedback, things you would like to see, let me know. I'm going to be dedicating a lot more time to photography this year than I have been able to in the past. So I'm incredibly excited for some of these trips that I have planned, some of the animals that I'm hoping to find and photograph this coming year. And yeah, if you have any feedback, any recommendations, please let me know, and I will do my best to keep coming out with regular content and hopefully stuff that you will really enjoy. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going, hopefully find those owls, and we'll catch you later.